I'll be your baby. Yes, I'll be whatever that you tell.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Kota. Welcome to today's Nuus news from Africa. So let's start with the sports news. How, Liz?
Sí. African sports.
Thanks, Kota! And another match, Ghana thought the final of the African Cup after 4 minutes break because of an incident leading score 3-0. Now we are going to a special interview with a great capoeira teacher. Follow me. Now we go back with you in the studio, Kota.
Thanks, Luis. Now we have a special report with Jessie.
Social news, getting in contact.
Thanks, Gaga. Now our social news. United Nations peacekeepers will remain in the Darfur region of Sudan for at least another year. The Security Council decided in an unanimous vote on Monday. Just whether the blue helmet forces will be better able to protect civilians as their maintenance remains unclear. The CCS chief prosecutor Fatou Bensouda has repeatedly praised the Security Council to urge governments around the world to ensure his arrest, with no luck so far. 10 times she sharply told the Council on Monday. The court has made it clear that Sudan has failed to comply with its warrants and the Council has taken no action.
We go back to you in the studio.
We go to some pause, and when we came back, Sebas with a special info delivery.
What I'd like to see come out of the summit is practical solutions that could lead to political commitments.
And what I'm hoping for is change and job creation.
Before even going to the summit, I would want to see an Africa united. Whether it's security, whether it's resources, we share these same challenges.
So stronger unity, better accountability, and more transparency toward the local community.
Our leaders need to strengthen ties, in areas of peace and security. Peace and security is the bedrock of prosperity. Without peace and security, we cannot even talk about economic development. Without peace and security, we cannot talk about creating jobs. Peace and security is key, to taking Africa to the next level.
They have the greatest resources in Africa. If we use those to help the whole Africa, it'll benefit the world if we really begin to use our resources the right way.
Let's come together and be able to elevate the kind of work that the African leaders are bringing forward, but also be able to bring the connections, be able to bring the kind of investments, and be able to bring the kind of platforms for collaboration.
The outcome that I like to see is a leadership that is more willing to take in advice and very specifically coming from the youth and actually listening to their voices and their cries.
I would like to see our leaders are involving us into various decision making.
And to add to that, I will encourage the African president to give a big space to young people. We are the future and we are the majority.
Welcome back. Here we go with you, Sebas.
Economic news.
After 7 weeks, since it was declared free. 7 weeks ago, Liberia was declared free of Ebola. However, UN specialists of the topic have declared that the lethal virus came back again. The new case was detected in Margibi. The patient profile isn't known. But after the death, the WHO confirmed that it was a new case of Ebola. The news task is to know if more people have the virus in order to prevent a similar situation like in 2013, in which about 4,800. In other news, Ebola comes back to Liberia after 7 weeks, since it was declared free. 7 weeks ago, Liberia was declared free of Ebola. However, UN specialists of the topic have declared that the lethal virus came back again. The new case was detected in Margibi. The patient profile isn't known. But after the death, the WHO confirmed that it was a new case of Ebola. The new task is to know if more people have the virus in order to prevent a similar situation like in 2013, in which about 4,800 people died in Liberia. Ecologist groups demand the end of the exportation of elephant breedings. Currently, Zimbabwe's government is under pressure because of the ecologist groups. Government argues that they only can sustain a fraction of the total population of elephants, international parks. That represents about 100,000 elephants. However, leaders of ecologist groups argue that the number of elephants is less than the number that government says. Moreover, that it's cruel and inhumanity to separate the breedings from their moths. In other news, nightmares violence don't stop in Damasak, a town located in the north of Nigeria, that it was liberated from Boko Haram, now sees how 500 children are disappeared. Witnesses say that the kidnappers are Islamists, and they also say that they kidnapped children while they were going out from Damasak. Before they marched, they killed 50 children, and we don't know if they killed the others, says a dealer named Sounami Ali. Thanks, Maria. Thanks, Kata.
Thanks. That was so interesting, Sebas. Something new, Sarah?
Thank you, Kata. Today, I will talk to you about the economy in Nigeria. As we all know, there has been an oil shock. Oil contributes only about a tenth of Nigeria's GDP, but directly accounts for around 70% of government's revenue. Add in direct taxes, and its contribution rises to about 85%. When oil prices were high, there should have been plenty of money to run the country, while also saving for a rainy day. Yet, over the past few years, the government spent it what it should have saved. The Kuwait Fund finances the Axum water supply project in Ethiopia. A loan agreement between Kuwait Fund for Arab Economic Development and the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia has been signed on June 16, 2015, in Addis Ababa, where Kuwait Fund extends a loan in an amount of 6.5 million in the national coin, equivalent to about $22.1 million US, to participate in the financing of the Axum water supply. Government officials are now frantically trying to plug the gaping hole in the public finances that the fall in the oil prices has opened up. The value of Nigeria's oil exports is expected to drop about 52 billion this year, from 88 billion in 2014. Government revenues will decline by about 40% and spending will slump. Economic growth is expected to slow down about 4.5% this year, from an average of 7% a year during the past decade. The government's capital spending will probably fall by more than half, halting construction of desperately needed roads, bridges, and railways. Ghana's mining industry has been benefited from child labor in unlicensed mines, according to the Human Rights Watch. It is estimated that thousands of children, mostly between the ages of 15 and 17, have been working in really poor conditions, pulling ore out of shafts and processing it with toxic mercury, violating Ghanaian and international law. Ghana's Children's Act prohibits mining work for anyone under the age of 18. However, the big problem is the systematic inspections, which have led to continued child labor within the mining industry. The Human Rights Watch has noted that the Ghanaian government should address underlying causes of child labor and undertake the fundamental reforms to regulate, professionalize the artisanal and small-scale mining sector. Thank you, and now we'll go back to the studio.
Thank you much for your time. We will see you soon on Nuus News with more great and new information.
En el boliche.
No, pues, pero ¿qué voy a tener a mi espalda? Yo quiero tener la Torre Eiffel.
Sí, ¿no?
No, así la cosa. No, ahí está. Ahí está. A ver, grábame, por favor. Oye, chico.
¿Así?
Excelente.
Ay.
Ya.
Todos estos van a ir en el intro. O sea.
Al final.
Ya está grabando. Ya. Now we go back.
No.
Ya lo sigo.
Es que eso no deberíamos tener tanto. Debería ser como...
Oh, bueno, ya se lo digo. Esto.
Excelente. Lo tenemos.
Está muy mal eso.